Starting a business is a dream for many, but very few understand the real emotional turbulence that comes along with this. From sleepless nights to the thrill of your first win, entrepreneurship is a journey like no other, man. In this video, my goal was I want to just keep it real with you. We're chill, we're together. I want to talk about what it really takes to build a startup, physically, mentally, emotionally. What's it going to take out of you? So if you are going to make this decision, you want to pull the trigger, you're going to want to watch this and you want to be prepared for what I'm about to tell you. You may or may not like this. If you're wondering, well, who the hell are you to tell me this stuff? Well, I'm sharing my personal journey. Currently building a startup called Nexa. You can literally go to it at trynexa.com. I've been through a lot of that for years now, and I want to share with people because I do believe that as hard as it is, as painful as it is, we need this on planet Earth. We need people, that 0.1% of people that can build, that can create, that can evolve, that can innovate. And hopefully you're watching this, it's you, man. I want to start by busting a very known myth. Right? Most people think entrepreneurship business, dude, it's cool. I see it on TikTok, pitching to investors, private jets, yachts, boats, women, money, business, money just piling into these accounts, freedom, being wherever you want, traveling, like working on a laptop in some beach. That is possible, but you're showing 1 or 2% of the reality of what it really happens. That usually happens once you made a success, once you have acquired a product market fit, once you've been through a lot of the grit. What's the reality? It's messy, it's unpredictable, and most often highly stress-filled and overwhelming. Studies show that entrepreneurs are 50% more likely than the average individual to have mental health and depression issues. Why? Well, it's right in front of you. You're juggling so much. Fear of failure, financial pressure, the weight and responsibility of your team and customers who might have quit to believe in your vision, which you need to now make sure it's staying afloat. Entrepreneurship is not a career, man. It's a lifestyle. You gotta live and breathe this stuff. It demands resilience, adaptability, and an unshakable belief in your vision, borderline delusional. Here are some of the strongest and toughest challenges you'll face on the emotional end. I think number one, and this is also for me, was imposter syndrome. You'll constantly question, are you good enough? And this is especially common in the early stages if you're very early getting that product developed, because you're kind of stepping into uncharted territory. You're not sure what you're fully doing yet. For me, when I was doing Nexa, every single day, man, like we would have boost of motivation, then it would go away and we'd be doing good, talking to a customer, they back out, and then it happens like piles on you for a week. Then you go to my co-founder, I was like, are we the right ones to solve this problem? Like, is it just not us? Is it just somebody else who's going to do it? Like, are we just need to like find something else? That requires true emotional strength and resilience. Like, I'm telling you from my experience that I questioned myself in the mirror. I was like, am I the right person to bring this vision to life? And I was filled with excitement, and that quickly turned into like pain because this is not what I thought it would be. Pro tip for you guys, reframe the imposter syndrome as like a sign of growth. If you're feeling out of your depth, that means you're growing, you're pushing boundaries, you're getting out of your comfort zone. That's a good thing. It won't feel like that for long. All right, number two on the emotional end that I didn't expect was the loneliness. Entrepreneurship can be hella isolating, man. You're working 12, 14, 16 hours a day to bring your vision to life because, you're running everything, and other people that may be doing 9 to 5s around you will probably be making more money and maybe having a social life. You may not be, because always, let's be honest, if you're doing all those things, you either won't get sleep or you won't be optimizing the best, version of what you're trying to build, which means you won't make it. You're making decisions that few people truly understand. Only like 0.1% of the world will get you. Even if you have a team, right? The burden of leadership falls on you. You're the boss. And that can take a toll on you if you're not ready for it, and especially if you're not built for it. What I like to do, and what I'm trying to do, is I want to build a network of fellow founders. That's why I started this channel, so I can gather more people to say, yes, it's hard, but we need people doing this and believe in your vision. Then you'll be able to talk to like-minded people who are building, creating, innovating, and don't do the traditional work-life balance. We're put on earth for a different cause. We're a different set of animals, but we like that, we appreciate it, and we accept it as reality for our lives. Okay, 3, fear of failure. The biggest reason why you don't get into entrepreneurship, 90% of the world, is you don't want to fail. It's hard, it's painful, it sucks. These are all shitty feelings. Humans don't, the brain is very, I would say, risk adverse. It doesn't want to feel these shitty feelings, right? Who wants to feel like that and feel like time is wasted? We already here for such a short amount of time. But the truth is, that's part of the process. The reason entrepreneurships win is because they bet so big. They're willing to ruin their life for a few years to put something bigger aside. It's a bigger vision that might outlive them. And that's why we love them. This is the reason why they're there. They're big risk takers, they're betters, and they're willing to fail. And failure is not failure. Failure is actually just a stump. It's a pivot. It's a learning lesson. And they see it that way. And then they come back again and they come back again and they come back again. I said this again, I'll say it 100 times. Failure is just a learning opportunity. Failure means now you're one step closer to success. You failed, that means you're not going to make the same mistake again. So you're getting there and you're getting closer. You only really fail if you give up and quit. Okay, number 4, burnout. The pressure to keep pushing, going outreach, doing sales, marketing, product building, it takes an emotional toll, physical toll on your body too, right? I was eating like shit. I wasn't getting enough sleep. Pretty much not non-existent social life, right? Compared to what I used to have. So that takes a toll on you, man. You feel isolated and you start doing crazy stuff. Here's the truth about burnout though. In reality, and you might agree with if I say this, burnout is actually not you doing too many things and literally getting burnt out. That's not possible. Burnout's actually when you get consistently piled on of negative results. So if you're doing all these things and you're failing to see any positive results from it, that's actually the reality of burnout. Because let me put it this way. If you're getting momentum and you're doing sales call, the customer is doing a pilot from you, you're getting on board, maybe somebody paid you a small amount, you're getting good meetings, they want to partner with you. That is very energizing. You're going to feel amazing. Sam Altman said this, but I believe in the same thing. I'll say it in my own way. So that's the reality about that. But what you want to do though is still take some breaks. Have a few days, get some sleep, and make sure you're always refueling, recover, and do find some time to chill. I want to say on your journey, no matter what you're doing, you fail, you lose, you win, you make billions, you make millions, you make zero. Have fun, dude. It's one life, please. You gotta try to have fun wherever you can and never take it that serious. Of course, you know what I mean? It's contradicting because it is serious, but find days where you can just chill. The best way I say to navigate all these challenges are going to be is it's all in here, mental strength. That's why I said the truth about entrepreneurship is it's not about being cool or having the best product or being super intelligent. It's, how strong are you mentally? What's your risk appetite look like? What's your persistence level look like, right? How many times can you feel rejection after rejection, all negative things coming at you, but you still say, no, I believe in this. I'm going to wake up and do it tomorrow. No, I believe in this. Everything failed today. I'm going to wake up and do it tomorrow. I'm going to try. How many times can you keep doing that daily? Where eventually you'll feel like you're crazy. You'll be like, everything is going wrong, but I'm still going to keep pushing. That's the biggest thing. Grit is what I like to call that term. If you have the most grit and persistence, and I would say borderline delusion, you're in the right place. So one thing you got to do is embrace uncertainty, right? Building a startup, it's like running in the fog, right? Driving a car at night, you see the fog. You can't really see too much ahead of you. But you know that as you keep going and keep going, you're getting to your distance or destination. Learn to take one step at a time. Trust the process. Always be open. Never close doors. And always keep trying. You'll be fine. Number 2, really big. I love to say this. You need to master stress management. The literal direct correlation between, I think, being heavily wealthy and managing stress is literally there. If you have high stress tolerance, you will be successful because everything here is going to be coming at you. The CEO is like a reverse job, You think that a CEO is a cool job. The CEO is everybody that is smart on your team, on your business, on your company. They bring you problems they can't handle and they can't solve. So you start your day every single day with just problems, and that happens for the rest of your life. I mean, obviously there's perks for this, guys, but that's the reality. So I know the media won't share it like that, but a CEO is basically someone who gets a problem piler, right? And he has to solve the hardest, the toughest, the annoying, the worst problems in the company. Develop a growth mindset. View each challenge as an opportunity to grow, as a problem to solve, as somewhere you can pivot and win. For example, Nexa, we face a lot of funding setbacks. We still do. It's always an ongoing challenge, but it forces us to innovate our pitch, our deck, our bootstrapping. We got so much better because of these issues and we kept clearing our message, and small results started to show because of that. And then what did I get out of it? Now in the future, I know how to make a really, really useful deck, a really useful, motivating pitch, and obviously we learn every day on that. Adaptability is a big one. You need to be able to quickly pivot, change, and that's the hardest thing as a founder. Your success hinges on how quickly you can pivot without losing end sights of your goal. Jeff Bezos said this, Elon Musk said this, and now I'm saying this because the truth is when you put so much work into your startup, sometimes you don't want to accept the reality that maybe what you're doing right now is not a top of the priority list problem that you're solving for your customer, but if you can pivot quickly, maybe it'll change. So basically the fastest you can understand that and say, hey, listen, maybe this is not the best path, but I'm willing to pivot, swallow my pride, come back again, you actually will succeed better than failing. And that's a really golden trait. Now, I can make another video on that whole section itself, on getting to a point where you're realizing that you're not a top priority problem and having the grit to pivot. But you can prevent that from ever happening at all by just asking the right question in the beginning to your target market without going too deep into product development and being delusional about it. So I'll show you some of the lessons I learned along the way as well in the most quick, easy, fun way to digest. If you can do this entrepreneurship, start with a problem you care about. The only way to keep going and actually never quit, ups and downs and enduring all those bumps, is solve a problem you truly care about. If you truly care about it, it's so hard, but you'll keep going through because you really believe in this. It's more than just money and financial freedom. For Nexa, the goal is simple. I want to build a transparent platform where job seekers, either your training organizations and employers, can all intersect and have a transparent process for getting employment, right? So for job seekers, we help you apply, but we don't just give you a BS message if you're not the right fit. Your resume literally gets saying, I'll tell you like, hey, you're not a right fit, on to the next one. And then you get a detailed report, and employers can screen and get all this insight and visibility into the job seeker. So everything is just nice and clean and transparent, and it's making the economy more efficient. That's my vision. I'm going to keep pulling that. You need to find yours. Focus on those small wins. Celebrate every milestone, every small gain, a customer, a pilot, attraction. It's a way for you to keep going and justify that the problem you're solving is important and it matters. Trust me, I believe in you on this. They also build momentum and remind you why you started in the first place. It's really cool once you get there. Seek feedback early and often. Don't build in a vacuum. Talk to your customers, mentors, users, and peers to refine your product and your approach. But remember what I was saying earlier about you can avoid the whole issue of having to pivot if you did this in the first place? I was talking about this. If you talk to enough customers who's in your target niche, you won't have to build and pivot later because you ask them like, hey, is this a problem? Would you solve? And would you verify it? And that's the best way to do it, because then they'll tell you and say, hey, this is off top of the priority problem and I'll pay for it. And that's your golden ticket. If enough people say that to you, you clearly are onto something. So something to keep in mind. Okay, prepare for sacrifice. This is the big one. Time with family, financial stability, your spouse, your personal life, your love life. You gotta understand that all that's gonna get negatively affected. I know this is not the best thing to hear because the whole point of a startup is financial freedom, being able to be with family. But in these beginning stages, that's just not what it is, man. It's tough, but that's the reality. But that's why you guys get the rewards you get. That's why you guys are gonna reap the bigger rewards. It's because you guys sacrificed a lot of these things for a mundane life so that you live years and years of life you want, because you created immense value by sacrificing yourself for some time for the entire world, right? That's all really business is. I'll give you an example of any founder you can put. They probably struggled for 1 to 5 years creating immense value through a product, a piece of software, hardware, whatever you want to call it. But then that device, software, hardware, product, whatever the case may be, created value for millions of people, amplifying what their value was. And that's why they get to reap that reward. All right, cool. Ended off on an easy note. So here are some practical ways to get help on your journey. Time management. A really good tool is Jira, and my favorite better than Jira is Linear. These are great tools to task on what you got to do from developers, sales, marketing teams. It doesn't matter. Rock solid tool. Organizes it, sets the tasks. You can create notes. Pretty sure you guys are aware of what project manager tools look like. Mental health. Get your stuff right, man. If you're going to do founder, it's literally like a ritual rite of passage. You got to be going to the gym, man. That's how you're going to control the storm that's happening up here. It's very important for you to do that. I can vouch it. I can't say it's more important for men and women both. Networking, you got to be on it. A lot of times to get your big boy customers, it's not going to be through, running an ad, or running an outreach email. It's going to be through properly networking. You could use tools like LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, right, where your face, your videos, and your social proof is available. Even better, tools like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, in-person events, shaking hands at parties. You got to do those things because those things are the most important way to build customers. Customers in the beginning come from trust, social proof. And what's more trustworthy than you seeing someone, talking about them in person, them feeling your body language, feeling your vibe, feeling your confidence? It creates an aura around them. And a lot of times just having some good time through some drinks and some dinner, that is the biggest advice I learned. I'll tell you real experience. Part of Nexa's client base is government. We all know it's the hardest sales cycle, very bureaucratic, it's really hard to get into. I used to email, do cold outreach, do sometimes meetings, which started helping because when your face is there. But you know what helped the most? Literally sometimes sponsoring events, going in person to these workforce development organizations, shaking hands with some government officials, having a good wine together, led to some dinner together. And then one of the individuals literally said, hey, let me get you an email on the director who was the decision maker for us at the time, put in some good words. And that literally got us to our client for that. So it's crazy how that works. It wasn't any of this stuff. It was just having a good conversation, kind of talking in person, feeling our vibe out and saying, you know what, I do agree with this. And build this person over, problem solved. Okay, educational tools. You got to keep learning yourself. So books, podcasts, notes, always reinvest in your process. If you see like you're falling behind in sales or marketing or something technical and you don't have the budget for hiring employees, well, then you got to figure out how you can leverage, your own brain to do this. And the best way I could say it is take time and get better at your craft, right? Automatically by doing this, you're going to get better at sales, marketing, operations, because you have to be organized. You have to know sales and marketing. You got to know product, but to make that more efficient, to make that better, to be an expert at it, you can learn from people that already been doing it, take that information and apply it to your own business. All right, that's pretty much all I had to say. I hope this was useful. Look, I get it. Entrepreneurship is hard, man. It's painful. It hurts. You'll learn about things and be tested in ways you never imagined. This is going to take you out of your comfort zone for real. People might even, you'll lose friends. You'll lose, family members. People probably make fun of you because if you're going online and advertising yourself, people find insecurity in themselves and try to project it on you. Like, why is this person trying to do this and that? Either you let it get to you or no, I'm going to leave that up to you. But you know what the answer is if you were to ask me. I will say that this is also one of the most rewarding journeys you'll take. You'll learn so much, you'll grow so much, and you'll reap the reward for all the sacrifices you made due to the value you created if you really build something good. I believe in you. I think you're really cool for even watching this because you are creating an idea, nothing in your brain is a thought. And you're going to not bring it into a tangible reality that other people can interact with. Dude, that's beautiful. That's borderline spiritual. That's insane. I appreciate that. Me hearing that gets emotional because that's how cool it is. So there you have it. That was my advice. I want you to start now, embrace all the negatives and failures, and keep pushing on a daily basis. If you found this video helpful, if it's useful, please like, comment on what you want to see next. And like always, I will see you in the next one.